You're listening to the SS Experience on SMG.
So normally, we try to when we have guests come over, we try to be nice and clean and polite. But Morgan Harper just came to the house a little bit early. You know what I'm saying? While we were still vacuuming and cleaning up real quick. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know how that goes when you have company over. You do a little bit of extra cleaning. You know what I'm saying, before they come. But Morgan pulled up. She's always welcome to be here. But she called us while we were a little bit cleaning. So I'm here. Everybody else will be here within the next few minutes. Morgan,
Cool.
what up, though?
How you doing? Good to see
Everything's
you.
good. Everything's good. See, on the audio side, that jungle be so perfect. On the video side, everybody's seen how crazy that was. You know what I'm saying? But good thing audio medium.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Morgan, so we always like to get you on the show from time to time, especially when there's something going on in the political world. And we try to be smart about stuff. But look, we're not political people. We're just gas bags that talk about hip hop and R&B. But the world's bigger than hip hop and R&B. So we want to talk a little bit of politics. So we're a little late on this, but we're only late on this because Morgan is super busy. Because if we could have got her last week, we would have talked about the hot topic. But we got to talk about it because I just want to get the thoughts and the content out. I just don't want to be
Yeah.
left
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of this conversation. So your boy Trump, our guy Trump, my brother loves Trump, by the way. He doesn't like that we're about to have like a 30-minute session
Oh,
on Donald Trump.
really?
Yeah,
What does
I
he
have a
like about
public
him?
he believe I should just get him to come up here, but we'll do
You
that another
should.
time. So he basically believes that the money was better under Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As far as like, I guess people had more access to money. I'm not much of a money for government guy. As long as I can make my money hand in hand, I'm good. So I guess for those individuals who partake in that, they felt like, hey, under Trump, we had way more money.
Mm,
I don't know if
okay.
it's because of
Yeah.
tax breaks or because of programs that gave people money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was, but a lot of people in our community say that.
Yeah. No, I have heard that from people. And I mean, it is the case that prices were lower when Trump was president, but unfortunately, he put in place a lot of policies that actually enabled large corporations to have even more power, lower their tax burden, and then create some of these conditions for inflation, price increases, the pandemic, all of there's a lot going on right now. So I kind of get how if people are just comparing, okay, a couple of years ago versus now, felt like you had more money because prices were lower, but it's kind of missing the full picture in my view. But I would love to talk to your brother about that at some point. So
I will. You know what? This is the content house. You know what I'm saying? This is the
mhm.
new content house. So I'm saying, so we're gonna definitely have you on. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have it, real couch and dope style. You know what I'm saying? Have a little, every real decorative or
Oh,
whatever.
you're gonna start doing these in person.
Uh, Content house, yes, yes, might as
Oh,
well. You know what I'm
okay, okay.
saying?
That's a new concept for
Yeah,
content
yeah,
house.
yeah. Heck yeah. You know what I'm saying? We
Okay.
can,
I mean, I see the hat you have now, so that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, because I kind of don't have a haircut. That's why I said we was cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, let me just throw a hat on real quick. I'm like, okay, good thing I got red on already. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it works. You know what I'm saying? The other red hat. But nah, but Morgan, come on, we talking about, and we talking about the indictment. We can talk about Trump and
Yeah.
all that other stuff. We talking about Trump and this whole indictment thing. I tried to follow it. It wasn't as juicy as I thought it was. It kind of happened the way that we thought it was going to be. He say he ain't do nothing, and then everything else happened. So why is this so important? You know what I'm saying, for us to be on the radar that Trump is indicted for all of this stuff because he paid off a porn star.
Right. Well, stripper. Is she a porn star? I
Oh
thought she
no,
was a
Stormy
stripper.
Daniels is definitely in that porn world. If she wasn't
Oh,
before,
she's
she was now.
okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, at the time, I think the services that he had employed were stripping. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, this is a big deal because a former president has been indicted for a crime. That is not typical. Usually, what would happen is, well, usually ideally presidents aren't
Right.
committing crimes, but even when they are suspected of a crime, like Nixon, they resign, they get out of there, they don't bring attention to themselves, and just like, gentleman's agreement to go off into the good night. But as we know, Trump has a very different approach to his
Oh yeah,
public
for sure.
persona,
Definitely, definitely.
and he is not he's not shirking from a fight. In fact, the fight is what fuels his political brand. So it is very, very unprecedented to have a president indicted for any crime. And then also in this case, though, you're right that the actual crime being alleged, it's not like murder, or or anything that feels like robbery. It is a pretty technical crime in that, it's related to the hush money that was paid to Stormy Daniels and how that did or did not qualify as some kind of campaign finance violation, like using your business, quote unquote business expenses for things related to your electoral benefit, like helping him become president, in other words. And so, yeah, that is not the juiciest of allegations. I mean, there's a slew of allegations. They all kind of relate to that conduct and some how he was managing his business accounts and whether they were fraudulently managing the business accounts. But they're crimes nonetheless. And this is more than anybody else has charged former President Trump for, the Manhattan DA.
Okay.
And that's a big deal.
Now I want to give Trump some bail money, but I really don't want to because that is very, very petty. You know what I'm saying? Because like when I was looking at it,
he
they
doesn't
were
need
saying,
any bail money. He's already back in Florida.
well, no, I mean, like, I don't want to like, I wanted this conversation to be more of a bashing type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trump, you an idiot. But it's like, really? So
well, okay,
is this
but let's back that
witch
up.
hunt? Is this the witch hunt that the people on the right
No.
is talking about?
So let's back this up because though not juicy, laws do mean something, right? And when you violate the law, regardless of who you are, you should be held accountable. One might argue right now, one of the issues in our society is that when certain people violate the laws, they are disproportionately punished for that. And other people, usually those with a lot of money, tend to get off scot-free.
Okay. So let
So
me ask
I
you this
don't
then.
think,
So let me ask you this then. Okay, so the law that he broke was basically using money that was allocated for campaign funds and basically doing something else with it and basically cooking the books.
well, so there's a bit of cooking the books. So what they were designating as business expenses, is actually going for this hush money purpose.
Okay.
And then also that they were using funds for an electoral gain that they weren't reporting as part of, campaign finance. So like that's kind of a violation. It's like this gave you some kind of electoral benefit and you just didn't think you had to tell anybody about that. So that's a little bit of like what it's getting at there. So you have to you have to disclose all finances that are paid or spent in connection to any campaign. That's both a federal law and it's a state law.
Okay. Dang,
but they're
Trump, you
suing him because
violated
it's a
that law?
Manhattan
That's
DA.
crazy.
Well, and that's a problem. It's like if we don't have the law being enforced, if we don't have some restrictions on what people can do during campaigns for any office, but especially federal office, it is a free-for-all. And we are living in this period of, it has been a free-for-all for some people. Clarence Thomas, the fact that he's taking these trips with a billionaire and claims he didn't know that he had to disclose that is totally they think they are, and we should be holding people accountable when they break the law. That is a fundamental tenet of this country.
Hey, Trump, you about to be a person that's teaching us a lesson just because you want to just pay off a dancer to keep quiet because you couldn't be doing stuff that you shouldn't have been doing. Kalia's on the show. Hey, Kalia.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Kalia.
So, you know what I'm saying? I was telling Morgan, she called us while we was cleaning up the house, you know what I'm saying, before she came. You know how that be. So what's like the
Please, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Kalia knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? When like your mom's about to come home or company's about to come home, you got to do an extra bit of cleaning real quick. Kalia may be on point all the time. You know what I'm saying? She may be on point all the time.
Kalia's room looks very well organized and ready to go for whatever guests are coming. So
I actually just cleaned it. So yeah, it is pretty clean today.
Okay. So Kalia's on the show, Morgan Harper's on the show. So we're talking about Trump. I know this is not pretty much Kalia's thing about Trump, but you need to know about breaking rules because that's what Morgan's teaching us right now in the SS experience.
Okay.
We're learning about, you know what I'm saying, Trump. I really wanted to crack more jokes about Trump. I kind of need 3, 2, 1 to be on here with me. We got like a whole bunch of Trump jokes that we just want to like really like get off because that's kind of like the thing to do. So Morgan, so he gets arraigned, he gets arrested. Everybody's doing the little memes and things like that. What's one of the funniest memes you've seen of Trump when he got arrested? If you can remember. Yeah. A meme, a post, something that's like, oh, that's super duper funny. Because you know that something had to hit your timeline.
Gosh. All right, let me think about that.
I'll give
Because
you mine. So they basically had Trump photoshopped on a body, and he was like swole, and it was like Trump been swole in prison for 6 months. Or whatever time it
Oh,
was.
man.
So I was like, oh man, because I really thought Trump, I really thought when they arrested him, I thought they did the whole thing that they do us. Handcuffs, orange jumper in front of the judge. I was really wanting to see that image. And we didn't get
right.
that. We just
Oh,
got
okay. Now I remember when I want to. Well, I don't know if it was a meme, but just the commentary
yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
they're like, "Yeah, Trump's here is like with the full legal team, like OJ. It's like that's when you know you're guilty and you're probably going to get off." It's like he
Oh,
has 6 people surrounding him in the courtroom. I was like, "Oh, that's funny."
Clear, we
He
gotta
had a
teach
lot of lawyers around him.
Clear doesn't know about OJ. It's okay.
Oh, is OJ? Am I dating myself?
Yeah,
OJ?
yeah, yeah. I mean, man. Kalea's like orange juice. OJ the
Wait,
juice man.
Kalia, really? OJ Simpson?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Nothing?
hey, Morgan. So
No,
Morgan,
yeah.
Morgan, this is how you play the game. This is how you play the game. This is perfect.
Shut
This is exactly how you play
up.
the game. So you ask Kalia, so you'd be like, Kalia, have you ever heard of OJ Simpson?
Yes, I have, Shahid.
See,
But
that's how you play the
but I
game.
can't tell you what you look like though.
Wow.
See, there's always a
Wow.
caveat that makes you be like, wait a minute, hold on. It's always
Wait,
a
but
caveat.
did you know that he was accused of murdering his ex-wife? Did you know it was the trial of the century?
No,
Wow.
I didn't catch that on social media yet. Is that new?
No,
It's old?
No.
very much so.
It's like 1990s old. Yeah.
Woo. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
That's why we love having Kalia on, man. It's just so
Oh, two
dope. You know what I'm
baby over
saying?
here.
But look,
Oh,
but no,
two baby.
she's gonna tell us
Cute.
something new that we're not gonna know about. And it's like, yep, that's why she's here. So Morgan Harper's in Kalia's on the SS experience. So Morgan, what else been going on in the political world? Because I was thinking about the dude in Chicago.
Brandon Johnson, who
Yeah,
became
and
the
they were
mayor?
saying that there's
Yeah.
more black people that's being mayors of these big cities. That's a good
Yeah.
thing. That's a good thing overall, right?
Well, yeah, okay, yes, but I have some feelings about this because my point would be I think that our problems at this moment are greater than what city government can solve. And so I worry a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, now you're going to put all these black mayors in place when these problems are out of control. And then we're going to get blamed when you can't fix them, you know? So
Mm,
I'm a little bit concerned about that. But Brandon Johnson is, he's a really strong candidate. He's progressive.
okay.
He is outspoken. He was pushing back on all the nonsense talking points of that his opponent that was like crime, out of control, and we just need more and more law enforcement that's going to solve all our problems, which data shows that that's not true. And so Brandon, I think is going to be a really strong leader for Chicago. But yeah, I am a little bit like, okay, now you're going to put us in charge of every city after you've like brought the whole country down. Okay.
Yeah, I can. You know what? I can definitely see that. I was trying to be. See, I need more people to think like that with me because I wouldn't have thought about it like that. I would have been like, "Yeah, we get to be in charge, but it's no point if we're in charge of crap."
Right.
You know what I'm
And it's
saying?
better to have people with good intentions who are in charge than not.
Right, right,
But
right.
yeah, we're up against a lot. I do want to come back to one thing on the Trump thing. So, because here's the other political angle to all this that y'all need to pay attention to. So, this could all be great for Trump, by the way, right? I mean, he's arraigned, he's arrested, high drama. You saw people traveling to New York to rally
Oh yeah,
in
yeah, yeah, yeah,
support
yeah.
from all over the country. So the Republican Party is definitely concerned that Trump is going to win this primary for president, right? And they can't,
Even over Ron DeSantis.
even over awkward Ron DeSantis. Imagine that. Ron
I ain't
DeSantis
gonna cap to
is
you. If you make me pick between Ron DeSantis and Trump, no cap. I'm gonna get my MAGA hat. Not gonna lie to you. I don't rock with Ron DeSantis. I don't. Ron DeSantis basically said we're not gonna learn about nothing black in Florida. I'm cool on that. I'll deal with Trump and everybody else and him gaslighting the Proud Boys. But you're not gonna tell me that I can't learn about black culture, black literature, and frats about to be taken out of Florida because I'm cool on that. So Trump, I'll be with you on
well.
that. But other than that, I'm cool. But
So I'm not with you on Trump. I'm not with you on
it,
DeSantis. But
even if you had to pick between the evil two,
I'm
like if you
never
was a
voting in a
Republican.
Republican primary, so I'm not making that
So
choice.
you can't even. Okay, I can understand. Don't give it no energy.
No
If I had to
energy.
pick,
No
They're both a
energy.
mess. They're
None
both
of
a
it.
mess. But, but the field is not done yet. So I saw today too that Tim Scott, a Black Republican from South Carolina, senator, is contemplating. He's going to be starting an exploratory committee, which is like the first step before you decide you're going to launch a full campaign for president. So he might also be entering that primary, which would be an interesting twist as well. The Black Republican up against Trump, up against DeSantis. But even still, Trump, everybody knows that man knows how to make it through the Republican primary, but he will not be good in a general election, which is why the Republicans, I think, are trying to get other options going.
You think is it going to work though? Are we going to see Trump and who? Like who's going to be his vice president? Because I know he's probably not rocking with Pence this time around.
Oh no, I think they're done.
Yeah. I figured that much. So know what I'm saying. So who you think is going to try to ride shotgun with Trump?
I don't know if he gets through the primary. That's a good question. I mean, that Carrie Lake woman in Arizona, she's wildly out there and
oh my God,
has pledged her allegiance to Trump. Yeah, it would be interesting to see, but I don't know. The Republican Party is in disarray.
All right, so there's one last thing. If we got the time, there's one thing I want to run through you real quick. So I tagged you in a post from Tulsi Gabbard, which I'm on her Twitter right now. Today's her birthday. Well, we don't normally do happy birthdays, but since we're here, happy birthday, Tulsi Gabbard. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she switched sides or not because because I don't know, like I've seen her on Fox News a lot. And a lot of her talking points is kind of like the other way from what I remember her from being a Democratic presidential nominee a couple of years back. But she was talking about some things that kind of had me interested. The Restrict Act. Are you hip on that?
Yeah, the Restrict Act to ban TikTok. Well, to force TikTok to divest. Yeah.
And I figured this would be a good time to bring Kalia in on this because this is something that could
TikTok.
Yes,
like TikTok.
Banning TikTok. I'm
listening. OJ Simpson,
now.
No idea. TikTok, let's go.
Right. Know what I'm saying? So Kalia, the Restrict Act, and again, this is from her Twitter, not only bans Americans from using TikTok, it is a Patriot Act 2.0 for the internet. If we could give the government, well, I don't really need to read that part. It's really that first two sentences what I really want to focus on because I remember the Patriot Act. The world was not a cool place during the Patriot Act. I can tell you that. I felt more afraid for my life during the Patriot Act than these times here, just as me being Black or whatever. So it restricts, you know what I'm saying, internet access and also with payments and stuff as well. So people can now, because they're trying to make this a cashless society. Like we're really getting quickly to that. So that means every transaction can be basically seen and all of that stuff. We shouldn't want to restrict. Look,
well, I mean, I see cash here and there.
Man, I've had a place tell me they don't take cash. Like I went to a
lot of places like that now. Yeah.
I went to go wash my car, right? You know what I'm saying? I want to, get my car clean or whatever. Waiting in this long line, cars almost behind me, but they're not behind me. I look at this, I'm like, cards only, like credit and debit only. I'm like, nah, they bullshitting, right? You can't tell me I'm not. The machine's right there. I can't put cash in the machine. And know what I'm saying? Get some shit happening. Get closer to it. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers ain't playing. These motherfuckers is swipe, card type shit. I'm like, oh yeah, we gotta abort. I had all I had was cash. We had to abort that shit.
You can't like, park in downtown Columbus now. You have to have a card to park downtown Columbus now.
See, man, when cash is not acceptable, that hurts the economy. I'll always fight on that. But no, Morgan, the Restrict Act, you know what I'm saying? So from the political standpoint, what should we know more about the Restrict Act? Because it sounds interesting enough for Kalia to say ban TikTok, and she's listening.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
So this is an idea, the Restrict Act was introduced by a man named Senator Mark Warner. He's from Virginia. That's where you're from,
my
right?
guy did this shit?
Oh yeah. Your guy did this?
Mark, what are you doing? No, we didn't put you in place to put this bullshit here.
And so where this is coming from is this increasing awareness of, hey, look, there are certain companies, and especially in the realm of social media, that are collecting a ton of data. And there are others that are US companies, but TikTok in particular is getting attention because they are supposedly, though pretty much confirmed, both invested in by the Chinese government, and then the Chinese government has a lot of influence over firms that are based in China, companies that are based in China. And so now people are identifying this as like, wait a second. So there's like 150 million users of TikTok. That data is now being analyzed and manipulated by a foreign government that we are in an economic war, economic and political, geopolitical war with.
Yeah, for sure.
And that might be creating vulnerabilities for us as the United States.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I just now found out that TikTok was from China. I didn't know that like it was made there. So it's all making sense now that you say that. So interesting.
How did you find out?
A friend of mine told me. Yeah, we were just talking about TikTok one day and just brought it up. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. But yeah, does make sense.
Yeah, you don't know because you download the app and it's just TikTok and whatever. So and so Congress is getting very focused on this. They actually had the CEO of TikTok making the rounds in DC. He testified in a hearing defending why TikTok is safe. They've created this data center, I think also in Virginia, where they're now saying, hey, don't worry, nothing to see here. We're going to download, all the data will be managed in a US based data center. So it's all good. There's not this national security threat. And the folks who support the Restrict Act are like, what are you talking about? It's like, you could put in a data center, but we know that the Chinese government's still going to be able to influence it. And then there's also this position, I think this is where, Tulsi Gabbard's coming from, is like, you shouldn't be restricting which apps people are able to use. And also, if you are going to do that, then we should be doing something about the domestic companies like Facebook, Google, who also are getting a ton more data, and they should be regulated too.
I was just trying to scroll real quick because there was something else that I seen in like a recent, and I just want to make sure that I had it right. So it's not just about banning TikTok as well. It's about people who use VPNs as well, as that basically using a VPN under the Restrict Act, a person can get like a criminal charge for that. And again, I'm not too much in the VPN world, but I know it's kind of like it disguises your location. So nobody knows like where you are or what devices you're using or whatever.
Yeah, it's not, that's a really good point actually, Shai, because it's not specific to TikTok. It's not like the bill language says we herefore ban TikTok. It's describing, an app that has a lot of characteristics or the types of threats that are being created by, this type of technology. So yeah, it could capture a lot of other things too.
Yeah, so Kalia, the Restrict Act. So it's not in place. It's just something that we just floating around. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they call it the Patriot Act 2.0, which you guys do not want no smoke where like every bit of your information is microanalyzed. Like what I hated about the Patriot Act is that police could like run your tags and you're not even doing nothing. Like you just be sitting at a traffic light, the cops will just run your tag just to see like what's up. And then if you don't have a license or if you have a warrant, you get caught, which sucks because it's like, dang, I wasn't doing nothing. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's why
yeah, and the Patriot Act was a mess in many ways, but I do think it's important to note that, our data is being captured by all of these companies. And so it's not police, it's not the government, but they are getting all of our data every time we use any of these apps. These apps are not free. We're paying for them with our data. And so this is why, in the organization I work for, we're really into checking, big tech's power, making sure that these firms are broken up so that they don't have as much data and as much influence, because this is like a very big threat to all of us from a privacy, data security, and even, like it gets down to like entrepreneurship, innovation. Like we're not going to see as much creativity in the types of apps that are created, because anything that's cool, they snap up and destroy as well, anti-competitive conduct.
So we're in the year 2020.
Wait, I got a question. What do you mean by that at the end that you said? You said like when it comes to all the creativity, like, all the creative creations, you were saying like that they also have a chance to snatch it all up. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So what happens now? So, when I say big tech, I'm talking about like Facebook, Google, Amazon,
Yeah,
Apple.
all of the networks where everybody has like logins and stuff, you know what I'm saying, where your life's
These are
pretty much
now
in
the
there.
largest companies in the world by a lot. They have
Yeah.
so much money. They're making so much money, so much presence in the stock market. And so, what they do is they haven't just gotten this big because they're like the best in the business. Oftentimes they're aggressively acquiring other companies that are getting traction. So take, for example, well, actually the best example of that is Facebook acquiring Instagram. Facebook, now
Right.
Meta, owns Instagram. Why did they buy Instagram? Because they saw these people were eating into their market share. We could try to like create our own product and compete with them, or we could just buy them. And then it's not buy Instagram. Instagram still exists, of course, but
Yeah.
now Instagram is in the Meta universe and they will be playing by Meta's rules. And so in a prior, we're now going to take you back to the early 2000s,
Okay.
when your life was just beginning.
I'm
But,
ready.
there were sites that were like MySpace,
Yeah.
Black Planet, that were, more targeted to specific creative communities or Black folks or whatever. It's really difficult for those types of platforms to get any traction right now because of the dominance of the larger corporations. So in a world where the government does what we think it should do, break them up, each of them is smaller, they're not able to be as aggressive in acquiring things, then you could see more room for people like yourself. You want to create your own app, you want to create your own platform, and you actually have the room within the market to get traction and build a following.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
and
a
own
very
your
good,
own data.
Yeah, right.
No,
Instead of, because I'll just add one more thing, because now the counter is like, oh, but we get to be creative on it on TikTok. You have the content creators on TikTok. Yeah, but like everything you're creating is getting captured by TikTok, and then they're
you're
doing
not
with
gonna
it.
eventually own it. Like this is what's going to happen. One day there's gonna be a TikTok commercial, right? And some of your footage might be in it, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you
And they're
use
not gonna
their
have to pay you.
platform, and they don't got to
Yeah,
pay you or
exactly.
nothing. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
basically, you'll do like a nice little hair care thing. They'll just copy it up. You just, damn, that was me for like 2 seconds. You ain't about to get a check for that shit at all, because once you put on their platform, they own the content pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Or even more, a threat that's happening now is like they'll take your data, they're going to feed that into ads that then they will use to target people, yourself and people like you, that they sell to other companies, and then they'll be making a cut on those ads. We don't see any of that. Versus if you had your own platform with your own ads, you would be collecting some of that ad revenue.
Yeah.
And that's why we try to occupy that space. Let's get some of that ad revenue. So Morgan, with the few minutes that I got left, so we're in the year 2023. In the movies back in the day, like I'm saying, any 90s movie where they refer to the year 2024, 25, obviously it doesn't look like that, because where's my flying car? I want the machine that automatically makes the food, and I want my flying car. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting for that shit for all of these years, and we don't have nothing close to that shit. You know
I'm on you on that one. Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like 2020.
Everybody
you have the Tesla doors that will open up to the side.
Man, we've been doing that. I wanted to fly. I want to get off the ground. I want to be like George Jetson and all of them. You know what I'm
this to
saying?
be high tech. I want it to look. I want it to look like the movies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I'm not complaining.
But look, the reason why I wanted to ask that, because you're talking about the whole data privacy and thing like that. Do you think that information going into whatever service is going to be could create like a huge problem in the future? Like artificial intelligence. I mean, shoot, you got everybody's thoughts, buying patterns and all of that stuff. We might have like a robot Kalia and won't never know it. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't put all of her hair care TikTok videos in the little drone or whatever. Now we got Kalia walking around. It's like, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to create some fun out of this, because other than that, man, taking all of our information and pretty much using it for like ads and sales and stuff like that, it's real greasy business. At least tell me you're going to do some sort of big AI plan with it, and then I can be like, damn, that sucks.
Well, the Federal Trade Commission, I'm always going to take us to the wonky, but there is this government agency that's announced they're going to look into AI, because there's a lot of threats coming with all this AI. We don't even totally understand all the risks. And so we need to get it to,
I know one risk of AI.
Yeah.
those telephone robot callers that be calling me all the time trying to solicit me something. I don't need that artificial intelligence, not at all. I don't need you dialing my number and having a pre-recorded voice. And then
You
if I
must have
press,
too nice of a house. That's why you're getting all those calls. See, I don't get any calls because I don't have
man,
a nice house.
I got this spam server where it's like, but calls still come through. Like if your phone number looks legit, it'll still come through. I'm like, no, I want none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they
But
getting
my
that
phone
smart. The
stinks.
artificial intelligence is getting that smart. So yes, if you want
Yeah.
to say the artificial intelligence is a danger, they're calling you and they're trying
Well,
to
and this is
sell
the
you
other,
stuff.
and this is the other point is, you know, sometimes because the technology exists or can be developed doesn't mean that we should use it. And if it's not really adding to the quality of our lives, then that's when it's time to just say, hey, we don't need this. Yes, we could have it, but it's not helpful. So let's not go there. What has happened is we just let, you know, these companies just do whatever they want, and government hasn't really done anything to kind of regulate it. So this is where it's like, yeah, maybe we decide as a country, it's like, yeah, this isn't going to serve us. So like, we need to cut this off before it gets out of hand.
I was gonna say some of them are paying though. Let let's not forget about that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally understand though and agree somewhat.
Yeah. No, I'm interested in what your take is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
no, I was just saying, like, for me, like, I've been getting into more of the content creation world because I see, like, you are able to, earn some type of income and, revenue from it. So I'm like, might as well hop into it. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, it sucks that, it's kind of sketchy on how they really got it going on, but it is something that I am also getting into as well. So it's kind of like, but that's why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Have all your little, things going around in different things and not just focus on one thing. So
that's the world that they live in, where all of the information has to go into a hub and then the big server machine just like does stuff with it. You know what I mean? That's why I like old people, man. Old
oh
people
wait,
that old people that's never been online before. They don't have no social, they have no footprint in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like we wouldn't even know they exist if we didn't personally know them. You know what I'm saying? So I love old people, man. Y'all got it good.
yeah, I was gonna say also too, like when it comes down to social media, like I'm not gonna lie, well, I personally feel like it's a great way to connect with everybody all over the world. I mean, well, at least like I know you guys want to keep it more of just in the US, but I do like how, we do get to, see, all around the world from like other people's profiles and stuff like that. Get to connect, network. Cause like for me personally, I've been networking with like a lot of people that are like not even in my state or not even in the or or not even in the country too, opportunities and stuff as well from people overseas and stuff like that too. So I don't know, that is another plus I do like about the social media world though too.
All right, so this is the thing, right? So would you want the government to like track you doing it?
Of course the answer would be no, but honestly, y'all are telling me like new information about how it could be bad, if that makes sense. So it's like I'm still learning, but of course the answer would be no. But like I don't know, like as long as I could live here and my income all that good,
Oh yeah,
all
they
that
won't
great.
take away your First Amendment rights. Well, they'll try not to, but yeah.
Okay, so I mean, as
You can
long as
have
I'm
those,
good,
Kalia. That's the least you can have is that.
I mean, I don't know. But like I said, y'all are actually putting me on to the information that we all need to know about. So
Well, nah, Morgan Harper is because that's why we have her on the pod. So the thing's about to cut off in a few, Morgan. So you got your meeting at like 8 o'clock. Or what type of things we about to like break up now? You know what I'm saying? Because you already broke up Ticketmaster, which is great. You know what I'm saying? Who else is we plotting on? You know what I'm saying, let's create the hit list real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's so many options. I mean, one that is really big right now is these hospital monopolies. So I don't know if y'all know, but like CVS isn't just a pharmacy now. It's also an insurer. They're starting to provide primary care directly, like be your doctor, and they control these things called pharmacy
Yo, I
benefit
seen that
managers.
outside one day. I thought I was bugging.
Yeah. So they're taking over the whole healthcare delivery chain, and that's a problem. And speaking of data, they also bought a company that just controls healthcare data so that they'll have more of that. And they're starting to acquire like senior facilities that all of
Man,
our
Morgan, I don't know, man. I'm beginning to think you a hater now. I get the big picture of it, but I'm like, yo, they doing it up. Look, they got the doctors, and we only got a few minutes, so excuse me if I'm about to be long, and I hope it doesn't cut off. They got the drug dealers on deck. They got the doctors on deck. They got the old folk homes on deck. They got the drugs on deck. They got everything on deck. Like everything's a what? Like, man, why can't we just be down? I know.
It's
There's a
a
bigger
problem.
picture. There's a
It's
bigger picture.
problem.
That's why I had to make
Well,
jokes of it.
Yeah. No, it's like convenience is good, but I think if we have learned anything over time, concentrated power has not served us well in this country. So
That is true. That is true.
we
I try
want
to be
freedom,
positive.
we want control, and that's what breaking up monopolies is all about, getting us more freedom.
Wait, I wish we could talk about the Cash App guy, man.
Me and you can do it. Me and you can do it later, but Morgan's about to go. You know what I'm saying? So Morgan, as always, we're gonna talk to you next time.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
I'll see y'all later.
All righty. All right, now
You're listening to the SS Experience on SMG.